and welcome back to Nay's Little Garden. So, y'all, I got some things from Amazon I wanted to discuss. And I also want to discuss some things I have already. So, seed starting time is getting quite close. It sounds so hilarious to say because it's December. But a lot of the videos I've been watching, like Brie Ellis and stuff, are just like their January videos. Their December to January videos discussed seed starting of onions and stuff. So, well, primarily onions. I think onions are the ones that, as of right now, seem to be the earliest ones you can start. And I do intend to grow some onions. So I've been cataloging what I have. It's all needs to be cleaned. So I'll either, if I can throw in a dishwasher, I will. If not, I will soak them in hot water and wash them before I actually use them. But I just want to show you some different things that I have. And the goal is just to wear out what I have. So first things first, I did go ahead and buy this. This is a seed blocker. So it made 4 seed block things at one time, which is wonderful. What I love about this is I want to say, yeah, about this size. So this 4 street, like, is making this, essentially, which is to my knowledge, from what I've learned, a pretty decent size. I have smaller ones, think like this, which you can still grow things out in this. The point is, the more soil you have for your seeds to start in, the more space they have, and the longer you can keep them in that particular space. Because potting up sounds very ghetto. No, I'm just kidding. Potting up just sounds stressful, and I don't have the space. I'm trying to find the space where I can make it. So right now I'm thinking a shelf I have. But anyway, before I get into that, yes, so I have this. So this is going to create an unlimited amount of soil blocks that I can plant seeds into, and they're going to be a decent size. Now, I bought that for purposes of not having to have a ton of these trays, right, that we're about to get into. What I just bought, and it came in, was this here. The full spectrum grow lights. So let's really go into it together. I just want to make sure I have enough lights because the only lights I had this past growing season were these 2 right here. So in the beginning, I had 1 on each row, which, if you know anything about growing, this is not the best system. So towards, like, for the second half, I ended up putting them on the same level, which means I only had 1 short, as you can see, row of growing, and my plants were just stronger. And so I realized that is in fact what I need to have, is to have that. So I needed definitely more rows. So what I have currently is about 3 rows on one shelf and then like 4 rows on another shelf, and we're gonna go from there because I'm trying to figure out if I should buy a new shelf that's solely for seed starting. We're gonna see how that goes, because what's great is I do have a room that I use for content creation and hobbies and stuff, solely for that, so I can just shuffle some things around and be able to make this also my seed starting / also when my onions and garlic comes in and they have to be dried out and stuff like that, I can make that in here and have a fan going on in here at all times while that's drying out. But let's get into this. So I got these because 1, it had pretty decent reviews, and 2, it looked thicker than this. So the hope is that what I like, 2 of these would be one of what I bought. So this has timing controls, where there's the one I have currently does not. And from what I can tell, it's just better if you have time controls. So let's go into here. There should be 4. There's 2. Hold on. Oh, like this. So I intend to buy, if not next week, then maybe the beginning of the year. And my gardener has a light on his Amazon storefront that I will buy. It's only $26 because some of these lights get really pricey, and I just right now I can't be buying big shop lights for $70 right now. But these just get really good reviews. So I'm thinking I can put the 2 next to each other, because one of my bookshelves is a little deeper, so I can just take up all of that space if I have 2 of these here, and then it's definitely getting a good amount of light. The situation for me right now is making sure that the light is close enough. So what I'm probably gonna do is start saving Amazon boxes that will fit there, and use that to prop up my trays and stuff that will bring the seeds much closer to the light. But I will definitely be doing that. So 2 here, and then I have, it just should be another, yeah, this is another set of 2 right here. So this will be 2 rows, and then this is a 3rd row, which has more than doubled what I have right now. So if I can manage to get another pack of these, or one of the MI Gardeners, which I think is a 1 pack of the light, but it looks like a good light, and I think it's gonna be good by itself. I'll either just work with these 3 rows, or I'll get one more thing that'll be another 1 or 2 rows, and we will squeeze as much as we can in there. So I'm excited about that. It also has a fairly big adapter, so that's great. So this will be plugged in to the plant, the stuff, and grow what needs to grow. So anyway, the timer we're looking at is 12 hours, 9 hours, and 3 hours. So what I'll probably do is the 12 hours for the first week, and then moving forward 9 hours, because I have the light on for 12 hours for 2 weeks sounds insane. A day is insane. So I'll do 12 hours the first 7 days, and then moving forward 9 hours, and then we'll go from there. But that should be decent. And there's 10 different brightness levels, so I'll probably, to be honest, have it 90 to 100% at all times. Because I just feel like the sun is so strong, I just have to do that. And the only reason why I may not potentially buy any more lights is because I want to get a fan. My goal is to have the least amount of plants that don't make it, and the least amount of plants that come out leggy and or weak, right? So that's where I'm going with that. This is the connector to the light, which is great. So I have 2 sets of this. So this is 8 trays. I didn't buy these. This came in plant. I got some starts last season, so I kept them because why not? They still work. They're definitely a very thin plastic, but they'll definitely get me through at least 1 more growing season if I take time with them more than 1, which I don't intend to be super rough. I have 4 of these, but I don't know if I'm going to truly use these for too much. I might use these. I'm gonna use these. I'm being dramatic. I'm gonna use these, but not for certain things. So I'm gonna have to look as to what takes the longest to grow and start them in here, because the goal is to start as soon as possible, but I don't want to start as soon as possible and then they outgrow the tin because I don't have stuff to up pot everything, and then it's a problem, right? And the roots get bound or whatever. So I want to start as early as possible so I can start harvesting as early as possible. Then when I plant those things out, then I will actually do a second succession of redoing all that process to plant for the second half of the summer and also the end of the summer, you know what I'm saying, so I can get as much produce and stuff as possible. So I do have 4 of these. They do come with their own lights. Yes, they have a dome, they have their own thing for water, to water from the bottom, and they're on their own dome, and the dome has their own lights. So the goal is to be able to use all of these and have no issues if I do, because they don't have to go onto the road, the shelving that I told you guys about, because they have their own, it's a whole complete system. If I remember, I'm going to try to link this in the description box. I thought these were great. It's just really small. Now, what I feel like I could do is something like this, right? That might be more useful. Or a soil block. It looks like only 4. So I might be able to fit 5 or 6 because the plastic is a little bigger than what the soil would come out as. But I might be able to fit anywhere from 4 to 6 soil blocks in here to then cover it, and I'll actually have bigger things, which I might end up doing. So that's actually, I just got that idea. I use what you have. And, you know, buy a couple things and then try to use as much as what you have, just to minimize the price. I had purchased a strawberry plant, which is still doing just fine. I hope it comes back next year. This is huge. This is one of those things where tomato, peppers, eggplants, stuff that could potentially get too big before you're ready to plant them out, because it's around Mother's Day is typically my last threatening of frost. So this is just something I'm gonna save. I'm not gonna start anything here, but if I have to potentially up pot something, I have at least one of these to get me through it. And I might do some wild stuff. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like if I really gotta seriously up pot, I do have other containers that if I have to drill holes into it, that's not per se for planting, but I can make work. So I have one of those. I did I used this last year, and this is literally for food, guys. And this was great. I used this to put water in, and I had other stuff holding, like this, literally, so I can water from in here. And then I have another one downstairs. I didn't bring it up because there's a lot of soil in there. I just dumped a bunch of the soil that was in these things still, don't judge me, into that. But I was using one as literally holding soil and growing plants from that, and then one like this, where I put these that already had like seeds in it into this and watered from the bottom, because supposedly watering from the bottom is better than watering from the top. So this, it's not meant for plants, but it's going to be a good way to grow plants and do so at a more affordable price. So I will be doing that. I have 2 of these, which are literally set up for plants. I feel like I could put this through the washer. I'm going to recheck it out because I'm fairly certain I got these on Amazon, or they'll be sold on Amazon. So I'm going to go check. It's just Berkey's brand, but it comes with 16 squares that look to be about the size of the soil blocker, so they're a decent size. And then it comes with this, so you can water from the bottom as well. I loved this. I thought this was awesome. These are great. I think these are great because these are big without being insanely big. And like I said, I have 2 of these. So this is 32. So if I were to successfully grow plants, this would fill up 1 8x4 raised beds if it was just like 1 square foot. So like tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, cabbage, them something that you plant, you know, 1 to 2 seeds in here, maybe even 3, and then you you know, snip the weaker ones and then let one grow. And this would plant out one entire 32 square foot raised bed. And boom, bada bam. You could even do it like you can plant, not, I don't know. People said you can plant a bunch of small onion seeds together, and then they're such strong roots you can separate them without much issue. And you can do that same thing. Like you plant a bunch of onion seeds across all of these, and then you get a ton and you plant them out. I think I'm gonna do for my onion seeds the soil blocking method, and then put a bunch of soil blocks in here, and then have them grow that way. Because I intend to. I actually just bought, it's coming today, another 8x4 raised bed. So I have two 8x4 raised bed. The goal is to be able to get one more of those and another and a 6x3 raised bed. And then I might be okay because I want to plant out one 8x4 raised bed for my garlic, one 6x3 bed for my onions, or 8x4 bed. I haven't decided because you can plant 4 garlic per square foot, which if you plant that in a 32 square foot bed, that's 128 garlic if nothing goes wrong. So let's say for any shigs and gigs, something happens, 120, you let 8 didn't make it, 120 garlic. There's 365 days in the year. That's probably gonna last you most of the year. And then for the 8x4 of onion, you can plant, they say 9, which to me sounds insane. But I do have a square foot actually like planting tray thing that shows you exactly how much and stuff, which is really cool. I really love it. But that is 288 onions. That's insane to me. So I would probably not plant out 288 onions because what am I going to do with 288 onions? I'm unsure. So what I would probably do is plant out like 25 of the 32 square foot as onions, because that's still going to be a lot of onions, and then plant out something else that I can plant that would be okay. Maybe like carrots or something. Beets, you know what I'm saying, that still has to take up a lot of square foot too, because you can plant like 16 carrots and 6 beets or 9 beets or something like that. You get what I'm trying to say. You can really plant a lot of plants per square foot depending on the plant, and a lot of the plants that you can only do 1 square foot, or they need like 2 square feet for one plant, they're gonna give you a lot of fruit per plant, right? So like the squashes, I'm so excited to grow the squash. I'm so excited to grow pumpkin. I'm so excited to grow tomato and pepper. These are plants that you need 1 square foot or maybe 2 square foot for one plant, but it's gonna produce like 5 plus. And I'm really shooting really low with 5. My tomato plants were prolific, and I don't know what I'm doing really at this past year. So I must have pulled, I want to say 10 off of each plant. That was the bigger ones. My cherry tomatoes, I must have pulled like 25 to 35 off of each plant. It was actually insane. So that's also something to keep in mind. But anyway, let's wrap this up. I also have these. I just got this actually. It was on sale, so that's why I bought it. Because it's like its own dome, right? Because we want to get domes. So I would put soil in here, right? Because I would do the soil blockers. That soil blocking thing, I hope, is going to be as clutch as everyone says it is. But I think it is, because a lot of these garden YouTubers be growing mad stuff. So I doubt they're going to steer you wrong. So I got 2 of these thinking I could plant like 9, put like 6 to 9 soil blocks in each, which is a good amount. And then to help them sprout, they come with their own dome. If I find that the domes are giving me... Okay, I'm going to fight with you later. If I find that the domes are giving me problem, am I going to fight with them? I'm going to fight with them right now. I'm a winner. If I find that the domes are not helping, or they're causing gnats or like fungus or whatever, I am then going to also use the dome tops as a base to hold more soil. which I might do. So like this is just multiple options, right? And then it's just holding the water, and I can see the water and all that grand stuff. I'm just really excited for this growing season, but I didn't have like you want to be smart with your funds as much as possible. So that is that. And with all of these things, like I said, not even counting the other 3 of these I have, I mean, this has got to be like 70, 60 different blocks, you know, little squares of soil that I can plant out to put seeds in to just have that. And that's like 1 round of things. And then you could do more. Anyway, I just want to come on here real quick to talk about those things, because you could blink, guys. I just feel like Christmas is literally next week. And then the following week is the last week in December. And we are really in winter, and we're starting... Because I feel like the darkest day of the year is in autumn, no? Then it starts bright, or it just starts at the cusp of winter, and then it slowly starts to brighten back up again. So then you blink again, New Year's is over. You blink again, MLK Day. You blink one more time, and you are in February, worried about Valentine's Day. And a lot of people start their stuff end of February. Well, when is Mother's Day? May? March, April, May, 3 months. Let's say in March, right? A lot of people start out a lot of their peppers and tomatoes and stuff like that, because you want to give them time to grow. So then when you put them out, that's when you start seeing like, how did their plants get so big? Sis, they started them indoors. They started that ish when snow was touched down outside, and we was all shivering and drinking our hot cocoa and tea and matcha. People had stuff growing already. Like Brie Ellis was talking about on January 2nd of this year, talking about the onions. I was like, sis, what? And I'm going to follow behind her this coming 2025 January. Because these onions, I want to be pulling out onions just like she did. Now, she doesn't per se go by square blocks. So this is something I have to take into consideration, square foot, excuse me. So that's something I'm going to take into consideration. But, you know, I don't need the most biggest onion because it'll go to waste, I feel like. But if I can get like medium to medium onions, I will be very happy. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll try to remember to link some of those trays down in the description box. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.